Welcome back everyone. So as I was going through my catalog of videos that I have to make, I saw that a phone that keeps coming up to mind that I always make videos about and everything, are always the iPhones, and I love iPhones so much. And as I was looking back, really every single lineup of iPhones have brought something crazy or intense. And even the iPhone XS included, more so the XS Max, they brought that bigger size. But the XS, it kind of sits in a really weird spot in 2020. And it's just very odd in the just thought process of it. I don't know, maybe I'm overhyping it. But when you have phones like the iPhone 11 and iPhone 11 Pro and 11 Pro Max and even the Samsung Galaxy S20 and S10, you look at those phones and you see how they're going to hold up in the future. And they're going to hold up quite well. There's really not too many contenders. And you can kind of see the upgrades that, those phones have brought to the whole entire market. But when you look at the iPhone XS, it didn't really bring too much craziness. It did bring, a couple things, speed improvements, better camera apparently, and things like that. And I don't think it was a bad phone, but I think it sat in a spot that made it kind of, underrated in a way. And I think the main reason of this was probably, it looked a lot like the iPhone 11. It looked a lot like the iPhone 10, to be honest. But also on top of that, it didn't really have any wow factor or anything like that for people to pick it up. And one thing that I've been seeing a lot in this year, especially when I was doing all my comparisons and everything, is that I'm always recommending people to buy like an iPhone 8, 8 Plus or iPhone 10 or a phone like that. Very rarely do I recommend people to pick up an iPhone XS, and there's not even a reason behind it. It's honestly, I just forget about that phone, which is really, really sad because I think it's still a, capable phone for the most part. And I think a lot of this has to do with not only the fact that, okay, like it didn't really bring too much craziness, but also the fact that it's still kind of expensive in the used market for, what it is. To give you an example, iPhone 10s, I've been able to see a lot of those go for around $400. The iPhone XS in the used market is selling for about the same price as a brand new iPhone 11, which is pretty insane. And obviously between both, I might pick up an iPhone XS, but there's some really cool characteristics about the iPhone 11. It's newer, it's a little bit bigger, and I kind of like that. And there might be some advantages for even picking up an iPhone 11 than over an iPhone XS, as I talked about in a comparison a long time ago. And even when I went to Apple's refurbished website, now mind you, this is their own refurbished website. This is where they put up the prices that they think are capable and good for those specific phones. And the iPhone XS is the exact same price. A refurbished one is the same price as a brand new iPhone 11. And it's pretty insane. And it totally makes sense. A 256 gig iPhone 10 is the same price there too. But I think it's really interesting the fact that really nobody talks about the iPhone XS. More people on a daily basis, I think, talk about an iPhone 10 more than the iPhone XS. And I think that's why it's really weird. I think it's a very capable phone. I think it still has a lot of power in it. But the fact that it's kind of the same price as the iPhone 11, really, most people don't want to pick up a used phone anyway. They just want to buy, go brand new to the Apple store and pick one up there and just move on with their life. Most people do not, I think, want to go to the used market or refurbished market to pick up those phones. And even when this phone came out last year, a lot of people still weren't even talking about it. People considered the Galaxy S10, the OnePlus 7 Pro, those were the best phones of that time. And most people weren't even thinking about the iPhone XS, to be honest. People were thinking about it obviously because it was an iPhone, but other than that, I think most people kind of put this phone under the radar. And especially now in 2020, I think this phone is pretty underrated, and I might even make a different video talking about that aspect of it, which I've already talked about here. And it's underrated in the sense that it was a slight refresh, but it's still, costing a premium for sure. And like I said, it's not a huge contender for older used phones anymore either. So I think now in 2020, I think it's still a pretty decent pickup, but it's interesting the fact that really nobody talks about picking up this phone. They always talk about getting an iPhone 11 or other phones like that. So in terms of everything, I think that really pretty much covers it up. But on the bright side, if you want to pick up an iPhone XS, I'll leave one linked in the description. You can buy one from there and help support the channel at the same time. But that's pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section as well. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate if you guys could check it out. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.